You're welcome to course number 4 under the pillar core. Here we're going to look at self-care and self-management for sustainable teaching. You cannot pour out of an empty cup, as they say. When teachers burn out, it's not only their health that suffers, their learners suffer too. The World Health Organization reported that burnout among teachers rose by 40% post-pandemic. In Ghana, teacher attrition doubled between the year 2020 and 2023, according to a GES internal survey. So here's the big question. How can teachers take care of their mind, body, spirit, and soul so they can serve students with energy, creativity, and love? What is self-love anyway? Self-love isn't luxury. It's not a spa day or a nail day as we see it, or a vacation only. It's a deliberate consciousness to cultivate habits that restore your mind, body, and spirit on a regular basis. Andre Lorde, an American writer and activist, said, "Caring for yourself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation, and it is the act of political warfare." For teachers, self-care is stewardship to manage your only instrument, you. Pause here for a moment. Write down one area where you've been neglecting yourself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Which area do you believe that you're neglecting yourself? Which area are you pouring into yourself a bit more? And what do you need to do to harmonize your spirit, your soul, your body, and your physical well-being? There are 4 dimensions of teacher self-care: the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. Let's look at the physical. The first thing we want to look at is sleep, the quality of your sleep. So it's not just sleep. Most of us sleep, but the quality of our sleep is questionable. Nutrition. When you go back to the domains of life, we talked about our health and nutrition. And it is said, for example, that we need about 9 or so servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Fruits and vegetables a day to remain healthy. Then at some point, it came up, the research said that you need about 10,000 plus steps of exercise to be healthy. Now the research is changing and evolving, but we do know that teachers who sleep less than 6 hours per night report 30% more classroom stress than those who sleep at least between 6 hours and 8 hours. So for example, a 10-minute stretch in between class can lower your cortisol or your stress hormone levels. So what do you do to ensure that you're taking care of yourself physically in between lesson? So it's not just about waiting till the end of the week to sleep longer, but how do you reboot every single system within in between lessons? Let's look at your emotions as well. Processing, how do you process your feelings? How do you set boundaries? Are you journaling, for example? Are you practicing gratitude, for example? Are you counseling or taking counseling if you need it? Do you even know where to go for counseling when needed? Daniel Goleman, an American psychologist, reminds us that our emotions drive people and people drive performance. So it is important that we're paying attention to our emotions. Then we look at our mental well-being as well. Rest your brain. We cannot say that enough. Rest your brain. Managing information overload has become the norm for today. But you can incorporate techniques such as the Pomodoro technique, which says that do some meaningful work for at least 25 minutes, 35 minutes, 45 minutes, and then take a 5 minutes break. And a 5 minutes break means a 5 minutes break. It is not going to watch your phone, check your notifications, and do all of that. Just give yourself a 5 minutes break to do nothing. Then you have the APA in 2022 also did a research that says teachers with structured breaks report 25% higher creativity. So see, it is in your interest to take that structured break. Your spiritual connection with purpose. Some of us are praying, But as the Bible itself says, majority of us pray amiss. So how are you praying? What are you praying for? What are you praying about? Are you meditating? Is there any particular verse that you're meditating with? If you're going through a challenge today, do you have a verse that you're meditating with to support you to course correct and change your brain to ensure that you're going to achieve the goal and not rather retrogress? Is there a scripture verse that you like that you can go to when you need very quickly? Or simply sitting still and knowing? Anchoring daily in your why you teach gives you energy beyond physical limits, right? Typically, when you go back to your why and it's bigger than your needs, it's bigger than is bigger than simply paying the bills, it helps you to regain your energy to bounce back into the spaces that you ought to be in. So this is what we mean by anchoring to your why. What is your why? We wrote that down earlier. If you didn't figure it out, I hope by now that you have, and you can take a moment to write it down. So draw a square in your journal as we speak. Label the 4 corners: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. Write one activity under each that fills you up. Take a moment to draw like a square of just 2 lines, one horizontal, one vertical. And when you've done that, you can label it emotional. You can do physical. You can do mental. And then here you can do spiritual, right? It doesn't have to follow the same order. And all we are asking you to do is to write at least 3 things under each that helps you to regain your knowledge. Remember, we're talking about self-care and management. So for me, under emotional, I will say, for example, that every hour I do deep breathing exercise, right? So deep breathing exercise. This helps me to stay grounded all the time. Then we can have 2, counting backwards is also very good for me. So I count backwards. I count, counting backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, refocuses my brain and then helps me to respond appropriately. And then there's 3. I can literally look you straight in your eye and say delete in my head. What it is that I'm taking you in, fully in, but I'm not taking you your negative energy if it is that I feel you're giving me negative energy. So I can still focus on what I have to hear you say without the emotion surrounding it. So this helps me to deal better with people. This is what I want you to do, right? Physically, I like to exercise. So I would often, by 6 a.m., I would have done about 10,000 steps before I leave my house, right? So I will do between 10,000 and 12,000 steps, or in my case, about 18,000 steps a day. And I even tell my team to make sure they do 5,000 steps every day. So it is important that you're doing some level of physical activity. This could simply be stretching as well. And it helps. So you can also stretch. You can do, so for those of you who want to do yoga, you want to do Tai Chi, you want to do whatever it is that you want to do, you need to move. Your body must move. So move. For somebody, you may want to dance, and this fills you back up. So what it is, so dancing is what I'm trying to write. So what fills you back up? This is the 3. For mental things that I do, and spiritual, so spiritual, let me go with spiritual. Spiritual, I like to pray. So I pray. I do a lot of praises and worship. And sometimes as I'm exercising, I'm listening to different podcasts or different messages to help boost so I listen to messages. Or the Word of God. So like the Bible, I could do an audio Bible during this time to help me groom myself spiritually as well. And then when it comes to mental, what do I do mentally? Sometimes, again, I count backwards. It's very good. I count backwards, but this time from 100 to 1. And that will also help you to build your memory. So it's important that you do that, so you're also helping your brain to develop, and then it helps actually prevent Alzheimer's, etc. So it is important that you do that. What else can you do? You can read. At least read 15 minutes a day. You don't need too much. 15 minutes a day. So always have a book that you're reading and make sure that you commit 15 minutes every single day to it. What else can you do? You can journal. And that's very important to your health as well. One of the things you can even do to help you ensure that all of this is working together for your good is that you can daily disrupt some of your routines. So for example, if you know that you exercise at 6 a.m., on Saturdays you can choose to exercise at 8 a.m. instead of 6 a.m. to help change, to help care for yourself, really, is all it is about. So we hope that this is helpful. Write it down. And if you don't have anything, write it down as well so that you're using that to make a commitment to yourself. So this is what you can do to help you within all the different self-care methodology. Yeah. The other thing you need to do is listen to your body. A number of us have not learned how to listen to our body and how to work with our body yet. Our body speaks to us. When you're tired, it will tell you. So listen, when you're feeling constantly fatigued, when you're feeling irritable, when you have reduced creativity, emotional numbness, there's something going on with you that you need to take a moment to pause and then do something about it. Pause, ask yourself, what is going on with me? And what can I do about this? Self-awareness is a very first step to your healing process, especially when it comes to taking care of your body. Pay attention, listen to your body. Do not dismiss any pain, any discomfort. It may be nothing, but at least put a name to it. So sometimes, for example, your tummy starts to growl, right? And when it starts to growl, for majority of us, we think we're hungry. In most cases, you probably just need water. That's all you need. And that will restore your system back to normal. Not food, but oftentimes we just give it food and we keep going, or we crave sugar because we're not eating when we're supposed to eat. So please pay attention to your body and honor it. The other one is to build, finally, I think we should build a self-care tool. And this is definitely one that helps, but also think about daily acts that you can give to yourself to support you. So for example, you don't need 2 hours. You've heard me say this. You don't need 2 hours every single day to be able to restore, take good care of yourself. All you need is about 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. In between lessons, before you leave the house, something like that. So ideas for your toolkit could be a morning quiet time. And I find that morning quiet times are super important. I would wake up before everybody wakes up in the morning so that I have my quiet time, I'm grounded, and I'm ready to meet everybody and to receive everybody and to give of my best to my family before they wake up. 10 deep breaths in between classes is very important. So you breathe in deeply, like you fill your entire lungs with a lot of air. You close your eyes, you breathe in deeply, you hold it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you exhale through your mouth. You can do this 10 times in between classes, and it helps you take care of yourself. It re-energizes you, it re-engineers your system to function much better. 15 minutes of journaling at night, or even 2 minutes of journaling, makes all the difference. Reflective time within the classroom. What went well? What didn't go well? What can I do better in my next class? Also helps a lot. A gratitude jar is actually one that I'm most excited about. Have a jar either on your table, and you can involve your students, right? So have a big jar, create a big transparent jar, put it on a table that everybody can see. And after every lesson, they can write one thing they're grateful for, place it in the jar. You see how bright your classroom will become. There's also a no work zone Sundays, for example. You decide that Sunday is your Sabbath and I'm not touching anything. It could be Saturday for somebody, it could be Friday for somebody, it could be Monday for some people. But whatever it is, have a no work zone, period, where you do nothing work related. Yeah. A Harvard Business Review unveiled that teachers and leaders who took just 10 minutes of mindfulness a day showed a 27% increase in focus. So it is important that you do this for yourself. We believe that we have supported you and that you will be able to manage and protect your energy much better. Self-care fails without self-management. You need boundaries and systems. Examples would be scheduling breaks, such as breaks that are non-negotiable, right? So you're done with a class, you take a little walk around the block and come back to your classroom. These are non-negotiables. You delegate where it is possible. So for example, during this walk, you call another teacher to take care of your students so that you can take that little break, and make sure that you respect their time. Come back when you've promised to come back so they can also take their break as well. Learn to say yes when you need to, and learn to say no without any guilt. Plan your meals ahead, it helps. Rest as seriously as lesson notes, as you put together your lesson notes. Stephen Covey, an American leadership expert, said, "The key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities." What are you prioritizing this day, this week? All of this helps you to go through your day much better. Finally, you may want to get an accountability partner because it really helps. Somebody who can look you straight in your eye and tell you that this is simply an excuse. You could do better next time, and still be able to give you room to sulk a little bit, but to make sure that you can up and continue to move ahead. That would be all for this particular course on self-care and management. We believe that we have been helpful to you. Please do let us know what went into your self-care toolbox so that in case somebody doesn't have it, they can add theirs as well. Like, subscribe, do share this content with other people that it might help, because even though we did this for teachers, as you can tell from the context, it is not just for teachers, but other people can benefit as well. So do share it with them and come back and join us on our next course. So until we see you again in the next course, we're here to cheer you on to greatness, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. The next course would be course number 5 under core, and it will be the very last course under core, which is also under the pathway of the person of the teacher, and it will talk about mastering time and energy for impact and balance. Thank you once again. We'll see you soon.